make a CAS reflection for Right for Rights. So in this activity we had a speaker come in and present to us about human rights abuses around the world, for instance in unlawful imprisonment, torture, not allowing people to have the freedom to be who they want to be, as well as governments that crack down on people that dissent to them. Sorry, I'm very, very tired tonight. And what we did during this activity was everybody wrote 2 letters. They wrote a letter to the government to tell them to stop their practices, and then they wrote a small postcard to the person to show as a method of support. This was just one that I did that I didn't do very well. And I wrote one of these letters. I wrote it to a Bangladeshi man who was facing a trial under basically a censorship law for protesting against a company that had opened a water plant, I believe, in his area, that then managed to dry up the dam, which is completely unlawful and he posted on his Facebook page to try and raise awareness to it, and he was then imprisoned. So I think we learnt from this that words are very powerful. For instance, we were told that, this has worked. Often they get around 20,000 letters, and a government getting 20,000 letters is a very powerful thing for them, and it can change things. So I think that's what we learnt, is that just because maybe 5 letters in that room were sent to that one person, but that presentation is going to be given to, hundreds of rooms. So those letters will pile up, and they will go to governments, and because this is being done all over the world, we're helping in a massive global effort towards creating a better world through applying pressure, which is very powerful, because while it's very important for NGOs like Amnesty International to do their own pressure, they also need to show that people are behind them, which is what this does. It shows that this many people believe that this is a human rights abuse and you should stop. For instance, it has managed to get people out of... It has managed to change things before, because a lot of pressure does a lot of good things. And I think that's what we most learnt, was that, just doing, no matter how small your action may seem, there's a million other people doing the same thing, and somebody may get helped. So we chose one of the people, and I wrote a letter. Mine was mostly, you're doing good, you're okay, because I think that's the most important thing for most people to hear. And my letter to the government was the same one as the rest of them, because I realised that it will never ever get read. And so I think it's just important to have like a clear line between what everybody is saying. So that is my reflection on this. However, next time I think it was, sometimes I think, because we were given this massive packet full of stuff, it was really, really confusing what you were supposed to, you were supposed to write a letter and a postcard, and that wasn't really explained. While most of the stuff was in Dutch, which meant most of us couldn't really understand it very well, I feel like the instruction could have been better, and also I feel like we could have been given a bit more notice of this. For instance, giving us a task or management pack that would explain, okay, you have to write this and this, or even for the ladies to stand in front of the room and be like, you have to do this, and that is my timer.